Hi and welcome to the channel, and today episode 4 of Scrappers in the Shed. Okay, on today's episode we have a 2014 Mercedes C220 AMG line. This thing was only got 60,000 miles on it, but I bought it as a category N with flood damage and also has a no turnover. I only actually purchased it because I need the entire front end for my own Mercedes. To save me spending the money on a full respray, I bought this thing with a perfect front end in the right colour code. Okay, I'll take a quick look around. I'm not going to waste too much time on this because obviously I've only bought it for the parts. We'll have a go at getting the engine started. Okay, let's take a look inside. Oh, it absolutely stinks in here. Oh, it smells like weed. Obviously not, it's just the pure mould on the seats. But it might be weed, who knows? I'll have a hunt around, you never know what you might find. But the seats, other than needing a good clean, are in reasonable condition. Complete AMG line spec there with blue inlaid stitching. I might have those in mine because mine's got red. I think I probably prefer the blue. We might have those out, but then same with all the console. Everything looks very, very good and tidy in this. We'll take all the parts out that I need for mine. Let's have a look in the back. Right, the back seats are down and it has the under trays and they are covered in oil. That's not a good sign, but I can't see any visible signs of any flood damage inside. The seats are dry and the carpets are completely dry, but then it has been stood since September last year, so it may well have dried out by now, hence why it's mouldy and absolutely stinks. But interior-wise, it is very good condition. Okay, it's also got the AMG alloys on here, 18 inches. We're going to have those off and put those on my one. Mine's got the black and chrome diamond cut ones, and the lacquer's come off completely. And I don't like the look of them anyway. So we'll have these off. They're going to get swapped over. Exterior wise, it's not too bad. Unfortunately, this has got a good old scrape on the door, which is a shame because I needed a driver's door because mine had a dent right there. So I don't know which one I'm going to keep. Again, a few scratches all the way around it. Flat tyre there. We'll resolve that one. I'll probably just pinch the tyres off my wheels at home. But again, all the way around, I said I don't need the rear bumper, it's just purely the front end I need. But again, in very good condition. Again, this thing's only got 60,000 miles on it, so it's an absolute shame that it's been written off. But then if its engine is completely knackered, you can see why. Again, a great big scratch here, all the way down the side. Could possibly have been written off for that. I've seen cars written off for smaller things. Right, let's take a look inside, see if we've got any goodies. You never know. Other than a lot of mould on the seats. Oh, it's absolutely stinking on this side, and the floor's covered in it. We've got a Yankee Candle style Wickford & Co. Sugared fig and blackberry. Hang on, does it smell? Oh, that can stay in there. That's disgusting. Anyway, get rid of that. Don't need that. There's the telltale sign of flood damage. The air filter has been removed and been thrown in the footwell. It is dry, but then, like I said, it's probably dried out by now. Okay, right, let's have a look in this engine bay, see if there's anything obvious. There we go. Obviously we've had the battery out because that was completely dead. We'll put a fully charged one up there before we even attempt to start this. Well, we've got this is all loose. Okay, that's obviously been off before. Let's drop that on the floor. Anything else obvious here? That doesn't look too great, does it? The connector for the ECU is busted there, and that's been removed. That's obviously to get access to the air filter. It looks a bit grubby in there, but there's no water in there. Is it dry in there? Yeah, it's dry in there as well. But we won't really know until we go a bit further and investigate. But everything appears as it should be. There's no obvious signs of any submersion as such. So whether it's gone through a big puddle or a ford or something and sucked it all up through here, you never know. Right, the next stage is to check that this has got any oil. Let's pull the dipstick out. Oh. Absolutely bone dry. There's not a drop of oil in the sump on this. Okay, well that's interesting. So whether it's completely shat itself while it's taken water in and hence dropped all its oil, or we've got a massive hole underneath somewhere, we'll have to have a little look. We'll get this up in the air and we'll take a quick look. Alright, we've got this thing up in the air. Let's have a quick look underneath. Let's see if there's anything glaringly obvious. I can't see anything. There's no holes in the sump. A lot of oil underneath though. I mean a lot. It's absolutely caked around there. The DPF is absolutely soaked in it, as is the side of the engine up there. So whether it's got a hole in the side there, I don't know. You can't quite see. I need to get my light on it at some point. This side looks all right. Again, there's a bit of an oil leak there on the side. But everything else looks all right. It doesn't look like it's been in water. Nothing's rusted. Okay, for shits and giggles, let's just see if we can get this thing turning over and running. I'm not too concerned with it because obviously I don't want the engine. It's the wrong size for mine anyway. But it'd be interesting to see if this does start, considering it was sold as a non-turnover. So the first job is to remove the air intake there so we can get access to the crank pulley over there. Then we're going to pop the injectors. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take those off and see if there's any water in the piston, see if we can suck that out manually. Then we'll pour a little bit of diesel down there to obviously hopefully lubricate everything. We'll leave that overnight. Okay, first job is to have this air intake pipe off. Just unclip it there. Actually, the clip's already broken, so it's obviously been off in the past. There we go. It's that lock or unlock. There we go, unclip there, that should just pull off there. There we go, put that to one side. First of all, we need to get these fuel injector wiring off. This has got a broken connector in there, so we need to pull that out. Come on. There we go. Still doesn't want to come out. Come on. There we go. Beautiful, that one there. And then unclip these. And should be able to just slide them off the connections here. Okay, there's one. Two. Three. The one that I can't quite reach because I'm a short ass. 4 at the back. Right, let's just pop it off these fuel rails here so we can get it out of the way. And we'll just tuck it out. Let's put it this side. It shouldn't be in the way then. Stick it under there. Alright, now to get the leak off pipes off. Connector's already broken on this side, so hopefully we can get some grip on it and pull it out. That's going to break, I think. Oh, there we go. One out. Carefully prise this one off. 2. Get under this one as well. Oh, slipped. Hate slipping on plastic like this. Here we go. Come on. Three, and the last one at the back. It's going to be tight, wasn't it? It's always the last one. Where's my screwdriver? Let's just prise it out with that a little bit. There we go. Here it comes. There we go, the last one. Let's pop that out of the way. Okay, right, the next job is to get these unions off. A bit of glue roll just in case. There's going to be a bit of seepage, but that was nice and loose anyway. Okay, and the final one. Again, nice and easy. Should have enough clearance to get the injectors out. If not, you can just pull them off at the fuel rail there. Right, that's all 4 of those done. Right, what's that? T45 for the injectors? Don't know. Let's go and get a T45 and see if it's the right one. Okay, correction, it was a T50, not a T45. I'm going to start at the back because that's the furthest away. Not that it really matters. Right, let's crack these open. Here comes the first one. That's nice and easy. Whether these injectors come out nice and easily though is another question. Well, they should do, being only 60,000 miles. There's no signs of any leaking in here, so look all right. Right, let's get this one undone as well. Again, nice and loose. Excellent. That's loose. There we go with that one. Right, let's just do these finger tight now so I can get them all out. Then we'll put out the injector holders and then hopefully be able to twist these injectors out. Right, before I pull these injectors, I'm just going to number them up 1, 2, 3, 4, because obviously with all modern cars they're all coded to the vehicle. If I put them in the wrong order, we've got no chance of getting this thing started again, or at least turning over. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Let's put a spanner there. They're all quite loose by the feel of it, so we might just be able to, yeah, look at that, that's not too bad at all. Might just be able to prise it up. Yep, that one's coming out already. Just turn it that way. Oh, I caught my knuckle. That bloody hurts. Come on. What's to come? Need a bit of leverage there. Right, the first one's coming out. There we go. Nice and easy. Look at the state of that. Definitely say there's water in there. Look at the colour of that than the mayonnaise. I'm going to have to suck that out before we do anything. Let's put that to one side. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, that's coming out as well. Just going to pull that fuel union out of the way. That was an easy one as well. Again, look at that. Completely covered in mayonnaise. This has definitely been hydrolocked. Look at the state of that. Right, third one. Oh, look at that. That slides right out. Didn't even need any pressure. Oh, listen to that. The suction on that. That's amazing. There we go. Right, and the last one. Is it going to be a pig? No. Is there any suction noise on that? Oh, look at the state of that one as well. All 4 of them. So we've definitely got some water in there somewhere. Okay, now the injectors are out, we're going to see if we've got any water in the cylinders. I bought myself a little cheap endoscopic camera. Nice Chinese one. I think it was below £10 in price. Can't get it out of the bag with one hand. There we go. There we go, USB-C with a little end. So we'll set that up and we'll have a look and see if we can see anything inside the cylinders. Okay, now the camera's all set up. You can quite clearly see it's working. We'll stick it down the rear one first. We can find the hole. There we go. It's not easy to do with 2 hands. That's a bit clearer. You see the top of the piston. There's no obvious water accumulated in there, but you can see that it's white mayonnaise-y. We'll have a go, see if we can suck anything out anyway. Well, that wasn't totally conclusive. What do you expect, a tenner, or less than a tenner camera, not the best of quality. The image was completely blurry, you couldn't see a thing, but it was coming out covered in mayonnaise and filthy. So we'll see if we've got any fluid in there, we'll see if we can suck anything out, and we'll do that next. Right, I've set up a really crude system with a pipe going into the cylinder and feel it touching the top of the piston there, and then obviously just a couple of other tubes to a cheap bladder. So we're going to pump this and see if we get any fluid out. Let's put the camera up so you can see it. Right, here goes. Okay, right, well I didn't get any water out of there, which is a little bit concerning because that means it's been in the system and it's gone right through, I'd say, or it's dried out. The next job to see if we can get that crank down here, the lower crank pulley, to turn. We'll get a ratchet on it and see if we can get that to move. Right, okay, let's see if we can get this bottom pulley to turn. I've got a ratchet and I've got a bit of a leverage bar, and it helps if you have the ratchet around the right way. Let's set that up, stick my bar on, and see if we can get this thing to move. It should be relatively easy if it isn't locked, because obviously we've got the injectors out. Oh, it did move a little bit. That is quite tight though. You can see it moving. Right, let's see if we can go back the other way. Well, that was relatively easy, wasn't it? Let's see if we can get it to turn the other way. It is still quite tight though. It's a lot easier that way. Oh, actually we've got some good movement there actually. So that's a positive sign, and then it stops. Okay, right. Let's just go the other way again just to make sure. I think we're going to have to put a bit of diesel into the pistons. Leave it overnight to do its magic and see if it frees it up. Yeah, there we go. We've got a bit more movement there. Okay, we'll do that. Excellent. That's not too bad a start then. Okay, right. Seeing as we've got a bit of play on that bottom pulley, we're just going to put a bit of diesel in each cylinder. If I can see where I'm going. There we go. That way it will lube up, and hopefully we'll get free movement. And then we can go and see if it will turn over without the injectors in. And we put one in there. Excellent. Just put one more in each one. I'm not going to do too much because obviously it wasn't completely seized by the looks of it. Right, let's stick some oil in it. Hopefully we don't get this everywhere because I've only got a great big 25 litre drum and a funnel to aim at. Oh, that might work. Right, here goes. Lovely second-hand black stuff. Perfectly okay for the purposes of doing this though, because obviously we think the engine's shot anyway. Right, I'm just going to pause there just to make sure we haven't got anything pouring out the side of the block. I can't hear anything obvious. No, right, I'm going to go ahead and top this up. Right, let's just check the oil level. I don't want it full just in case we have got a major issue. We don't want oil coming out everywhere. Anything just above minimum will do for this purpose. What have we got? Yep, that'll do. That's almost full anyway. Right, let's see if this crank pulley turns over any better. I've put a bit of blue roll here because obviously once we start moving those pistons, any diesel that's still in there is going to come out. We don't want it all over the engine. Let's have a go. That was turning quite freely actually. That's really good news. Well, it isn't. I hope the engine is knackered because obviously I said I only want the parts for this. Okay, right, it's stopped to that point now. Let's try there. Might just be my leverage. No, it's still turning. That's turning quite freely actually. Right, let's see if I can just do it by hand without a bar. It's not easy to get in there actually. Yeah, look at that. That's turning quite well actually. You can hear the pistons. Okay, well I've put a battery on. It's not quite powerful enough. It's only a 550. The one that came off here was 800 plus, so I've obviously hooked up my trusty jump pack as well, just so we've got enough juice, because this might take a bit of cranking to see if we can get this thing turning over. We've got the lights on the front, or at least one, so that's a bonus. Where's my key? I've lost my key already. There we go. Let's see if it unlocks and everything. Yes, it unlocks. Okay, right. Let's see if this thing turns over. Right, we've got dash lights. That's more than we had before. Put the seat back. Ooh, a bit too fast. Right. Well, that's promising. Right, here we go. Right, we've got dash lights. We've got fuel. That didn't sound too bad at all, actually. There we go, it has poured out diesel everywhere, like we said it was going to do. That's why I put the towel there, otherwise it would have been all over your bonnet. Whew. Right, I ran out of daylight last night, so I've come in early doors this morning to see if we get this thing fired up. It's 7:30, it's about -1, and the entire thing is frozen over. So let's get this thing turning over at the very least and see if it will start. Right, as you can see, I've refitted all of the injectors, all 4 of them there, and obviously all the leak off pipes, and put all the electrical connectors back on. So now we just need to put a battery on and see if this thing will turn over. Oh, I can't feel my hands. Right, the battery's on, jump pack's on. Let's get in, see if we've still got ignition lights before see if this thing will turn over. God, my nose is pouring. Right, where are the keys? No, other pocket. Oh, I put the seat forward again, didn't I? See what I mean? See how frozen it is. Oh, right. Right, ignition lights on. Right, I'm going to set the camera up on the engine and see if this thing will turn over. Oh, my battery pack's dead. That's not good, and I didn't bring my spare. Oh, fuck's sake. Well, that was a bit of a failure. At least we got the thing turning over, but there's no firing whatsoever. I'm going to have to get a new battery and another jump pack on this, because it's not turning over fast enough. But it is turning over, and it's sounding relatively healthy. So fingers crossed we'll have another go at this tomorrow morning. Right, take 3 or 4, maybe even 5. I've lost count. Let's try again. Right, this time we've got a fully charged proper battery. I stole this one off my Mercedes, so hopefully we've got enough juice in that. If not, the jump pack is all fully charged, ready to go. Right, let's try cranking it yet again. That was close. I'm going to put my jump pack on just so I don't kill the battery. Okay, I think the starter motor's about to give up. There's a lot of smoke coming from this side. Oh, it's absolutely stinking. Okay, engine very bad. It's pissing out oil everywhere. Look at the state of that. So I'm not going to carry on cranking this thing because I'm going to make a lot of mess. As you can see, it's still dripping away up there. No idea where it's coming from. You just can't see up in there. It seems to be coming from either the turbo or the side of the block somewhere. But there's a lot of oil dripping off that. Right, I'll go and clear all this up and then we'll start stripping it, because there's obviously no point going any further with this engine because it's completely shot. Right, not 100% success rate. We got this thing turning over, but in the end the engine was absolutely shot. So there's no point wasting any more time on this. As I said earlier, I only bought it for the spares anyway. So in the next installment, we'll start stripping this thing, getting ready to send it to the scrapyard. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.